Oh, we are here. We are recording. It is Blazers basketball. It is the first pod we've been able to put together in a while. I'd say at least for this quarter. So, not that we've had a lot to report on from the team, but I thought this would be the final pod of the regular season for us until around draft time when we're going to have our hands full with a lot of decision making, and that should be fun. But I wanted to look at today um, sort of the season goal and the themes that have popped up throughout the season for my franchise, Portland. Review the players that have been mainstays on the roster for the majority of the season, and then just take a look at NSL pre-playoffs, which I've never seen a standings that has so much positional volatility, which is incredibly exciting for someone who doesn't have a stake in the standings themselves. So that will be really exciting. So I'll finish off with my take on the playoffs as well. So yeah, last season we decided to halfway through rip it up, down, whatever you want to describe it as. We wanted to dramatically change our identity and our trajectory, mostly from the point of well-being for me, but secondly, just from an efficiency standpoint in value in team building. We were trying to look for one more piece to push us into true contender status, and I just couldn't find it. So that was the decision behind that. And then I was also sick of caring so much about every single game, and it was really wearing me down. So that was the catalyst. And since then, it's been a season plus long mission of trading, interchanging pieces. I would be shocked at the amount of trades we have made, and proud because that was the goal. So the goals for this season were to continue trading to, I suppose, strengthen the position of being a rebuilding team, whether that's picks or whether that's cashing in value for guys that are really going to help teams win now, like Lou Dort, or like who else did we trade? Lou Dort's a great example. One of those players that um, could be the last piece on a championship team. Like it very well could be for the Bucks. So the season themes were to move pieces around, and we did a lot of that. I think we probably traded more than any other team, and I suppose that the territory of where the team builders comes with a lot more freedom, less pressure to make particular trades, um, making less particular trades, and yeah, you've got way more buyers, way more potential. Sorry, just something on the table. Yeah, you've got way more potential suitors, so that's been really fun. As someone who loves the pursuit and crunching the numbers, that's been really fun. And I think we did a great job. We've got, obviously, it's public knowledge, but we have a lot of draft picks. Still don't know the plan with that, but that is going to generate a lot of trade potential at draft time. Um, yeah, so that'll be fun. But the picks are all their values to be determined. That can fluctuate. But one of the season goals was to trade. Tick, we did it. Second season goal was during our moves to try and keep or acquire some young players who maybe were a little bit undervalued, um, who potentially could turn into good players um, down the line in 2 or 3 seasons' time. And we've got that time um, to be patient now, at least for the next few seasons, that time to be patient. We're going to try and build a bit more organically, I think, at least for the next few seasons. So the second goal was to grab some of those players. And when I review the players that have been on our roster this season, I'll be able to highlight who those players are. Um, yeah, so in summary, it was about value. It was about maximizing the position of being a rebuilding team. And that means making trades with teams that want to improve on the court, want to improve in 2K, and that's just the ecosystem of trading. You've got teams that want to get better right now on the court. You've got teams that want to develop a better like value portfolio, and that was obviously us, still is. But I think the season goal of trading and playing the market as often as we could was a huge success. Like I love the amount of depth we have in the value portfolio now. So I'll go to player reviews, and this is where I can highlight what I was mentioning about hopefully grabbing onto some young players that we don't end up having to trade in the near future. I know the roster's changed so much, so there's probably players who've been moved out like Dort that played a lot for us, but I will just review who I can see in front of myself right now on the roster. So Bradley Beal, the Albatross. If he'd just gone anywhere other than Phoenix, he would have had a great NBA season, but that disaster zone of a Suns team really tainted his 2K value. He should have ended up on a kind of mid-range team that was pushing towards the playoffs, because I think in 2K he's a really, really good scorer. Obviously, it's hard to fit that money in. Look, his stats. He's played, I'd say, 75% of games. His statistics, in 29 minutes a game, 48% from the field. He's 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and shoots 2.5 threes a game. So he's with us now. I probably hope to move him on this season, and that the fact that I probably regret acquiring him a little bit because it cost me some later draft picks, but that's okay. It's still a nice big contract that can be easily moved in the right deal for another big contract player. And he's had a fun season. He's had some fun games and stat lines where he's beaten other teams off his own hand. So that was he's a fun player. Look, the contract's really hard to move, but he's a fun player. Jaden Ivey was probably my favourite player this season until he broke his leg. It's been mentioned in some of the articles, and he was a front runner for the most improved. I thought he was going to get it. I had Bill off the bench when Ivy played because I really wanted to just lean into him and have fun with him and showcase what he can do. So he's a guy I think I'd love to keep around. I think he's still got some seriously untapped potential. I think this setback with the leg might even get him on a bit of a cheaper deal moving forward, and there's all this positivity around the Pistons team in real life, and I think that's going to help him get a bit more of help the Pistons get a more friendly Ivy deal. So he's the guy I'd love to keep around, and in that same vein of being a bit underrated due to low usage or situational issue is Keegan Murray. He's a really good defender already, and he doesn't get the love in 2K at the moment. But in real life, I think he's a really good defender. His stats haven't really improved this season in terms of offense and across the board statistics, but the Kings kind of run their team like a 2K team. They've added DeRozan, Levine, Valanciunas, a lot of guys that eat up a lot of statistics. So Keegan's very much in a role player slot at the moment. He's still only 24. I see him still having some like borderline all-star potential. And same deal with Ivy. I think he's going to get a really friendly rookie extension, because otherwise the Kings can't really keep that team together. And that's going to be really good going forward if I have made like condensing deals to get some consolidated stars in. They can hopefully hang around and be the 5th, 6th, 7th best players on a team. That would be really good. So Murray's been here the whole season. It hasn't aged great with Ricochet, but even he gets games with bigger usage opportunities than Keegan does. Looking at box scores, like he barely touches it because it's play defense and then just spot up in the corner. So I'm still a big Keegan guy. I'm happy for him to sit with us until he gets his moment. Max Strus, the Winter Soldier. I thought he was really fun. And once again, teams just not proactive enough on the trade market, I don't think. He's a 3-positional guy. 45 games, he shot 50% from the field. nearly 50% from three, and he really just launches them. And whether he started for me or played off the bench, he was good, and he's a really good role player for Cleveland in real life. So I think he's going to be handy in 2K, and he's rated 80, 79. Um, so he's a guy next season. I don't think it'll be hard to find a roster for him. Anthony Black, trivia question. The only player who did not get traded this season, Anthony Black. He's a holdover from the LeBron trade halfway through last season. So he's been with us for a season and a half. And I am hopeful he ends up being our starting point guard of the future. I can see a future where he's an 85, 86 rated player in 2K, and he's 6'7". He's a really good defender, and I'm hopeful he becomes our starting point guard in the future. Kevin Huerter we got in the deal for Lou Dort. He's just a really good shooting role player in the NBA too. There's not a lot of sex appeal there, but like he's a I wouldn't say good defender. He does enough. He's quick enough to kind of stay in front of bodies, but he's really a play finisher with his shooting. And I've been able to get him, shoots 50% from the field, 13 points a game off the bench in just 19 minutes. And that's kind of what he did for some other teams as well. Another guy that hopefully is finding another home during the offseason when there's teams who really want to keep building that roster up to compete. Isaiah Jackson we've had since the Westbrook trade in the early weeks of the season. He was salary for Westbrook, but when he's had a chance to play, he's kind of that prototypical 2K big that we really like in the league because they know what they are, and what they are really impacts 2K. So he's a great rebounder, blocker, and dunker, and he's really quick too. So yeah, he had 8 rebounds and 6 points a game in just 18 minutes, and he nearly averaged 2 blocks a game. And that was only over 8 games, tiny sample size, but he's a restricted free agent. I think he'll sign another friendly deal with the Pacers. Once again, the injury removing some of the leverage from Jackson's bargaining position. So if we're happy to keep him on the roster again for next season. He's only 23. This has been my favorite part of the last month. Tristan Vukcevic, 22-year-old. He was a late first last year, two-way with the Wizards, and must be averaging like 20 plus points a game when they give him 20 minutes on the court, and he just lets him fly. He reminds me of his shooting style reminds me of Bertans, like a really quick kind of shot from in front of the face. It might be someone else I'm thinking of, but he's really launching it, and he's playing like an 80 rated big at the moment. So there's some opportunity there in Washington. Hopefully he sticks on a two-way, and we can keep a roster spot free. But there's a chance he signs the Wizards, and we're going to have him on the main roster. But he's been amazing, and we got him for Horford. A win for both teams, but he's exactly what we're after. Nick Smith Jr., he's been awesome as the starting point guard. This is the kind of 2K that's really benefited those kind of players. 14 points a game, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He's had some really fun games. Obviously, there's still some warts on his game, and it's not a good position to be in for a lowly team for a young guard. He's had some burn, and he's really fast and really crafty in 2K, so that was fun to watch. And he's pushed himself up to like 77, 78 overall, starting in the low 70s at the start of the season. He might have even been 70. So that's really good, added some value there. Johnny Juzang, coolest name in the game. Really cheap deal. He's had some burn in Utah because they just wholesale tanking moves, but he's 3-positional as well. Kind of like Strus without the playmaking. He's a big-time 3-point shooter. Very similar, like body types, same weight, same height, so similar archetype as well. Jonathan Isaac. We're really looking forward to utilizing him in a trade next season because his contract drops from 25 million down to 15. So he becomes a bargain, and he's played, um, 50 out of probably 70 games, 68 games. So he's probably played in 75% of the games, and that's really good because that was the knock on him for a very, very long time. Managing his minutes in real life are the magic, and that's really kept him on the court. And you just look at his 2K25 skills, and don't let the overall fool you. An overall of 76, but he has rebounding in the 80s, dunking in the 80s, interior defense and perimeter defense in the mid 80s, 91 block, 86 steal, 80 vertical, and 73 speed. So he's a really, really fast. He's a really, really fast big guy, and he can defend smalls and talls because that perimeter defense is so good. What do we have? We got two more players, is it? Four. Jerace Walker. So he came over from Atlanta. He's been buried on the Pacers team in real life because they do have a lot of good young depth. But every time I watch him play, the eye test just looks like he's going to fit in the NBA really well. He's quick. He makes quick decisions. He's a little bit ambitious, but he plays defense really well. His three-point shot's gotten a lot better. And like Isaac, he's shorter. He's 6'7". He's definitely a 3-4. But yeah, shot close 96 now. 91 mid-range, 84 3-point. He really shot extremely well in the NBA. Driving dunk 87. Vertical 90. Speed 81. He's a guy I'd love to keep on the roster too. I just think he's made of the right stuff. Perfect body type, 7'3" wingspan, and he's only just turned 21. So really, really young player. Similar vein, but nowhere near as good at the moment is Olivier Maxence Prosper. We actually drafted him. He's just tools at the moment, but we got him over pretty cheap. So he'll probably be someone we end up sending off somewhere else for a couple of seconds, maybe. Anthony Gill was just center depth after we lost Al Horford in the trade. We've just had to sign JD Davison. He was a two-way guard. He's torn it up in the G League. He's averaged like 26, 6 and 6, I think, for Boston. Boston's G League affiliate, sorry. And he's kind of got like a Bledsoe build. So I don't know what that means for his NBA future, but really, really athletic, really big wingspan for a 6'1" guard. Very much Bledsoe build. Maybe even as a style when I see him play as well. And finally, Deron Holmes. So he's been out all season. We were able to get him into the team via Charlotte when we traded them OG Anunoby. So I like a lot of those players on that team. If we didn't have to trade to fit in some incoming draft picks, I'd be happy with a lot of those players sticking around. But we've got a lot of condensing to do, which will be really fun come off season. That's pretty much it. I'm really happy with how the season's progressed. This was the goal for the season, to test out different players, to get young guys in, to send 2K value out for potential value coming in, and I think we've done a really good job. So it's been entertaining for us. I alluded to this earlier. I've gone just taking a look at the standings. It's so close. Milwaukee can still grab first spot, but Cavs and Bucks are going to be the top two. I don't think either can drop lower than that. Washington have grabbed third. They've been really strong the last few weeks. So Charlotte have jumped up. They were in the play-in just a few games ago. They've won 3 in a row, and now they have moved up to fourth. So there's going to be some really exciting volatility in the play-in. Surely the Raptors can get up and knock the Pacers into the play-in zone. But Yeet has done a really good job just holding on. And just aside from Wemby's terrible injury, he's had a really healthy squad all year. All his players have been available for most weeks, which matters. But he's done a really good job just holding back the damn walls from breaking, and he's been doing a great job. Yeah, that playing spot in the East, Miami, Philly. I gave Ben some flowers earlier today. His team has done an incredible job of just dealing with some terrible, terrible injuries, and they have done. Ben has done an admirable job. Um, yeah, Detroit, Atlanta, Orlando, New York, and Brooklyn obviously can't make the play in. Down in the West, OKC look like they will hold on to top spot. Lakers probably hold on to second, but if they really have a bad week this week, it leaves the door open for any number of Denver, Utah, or Minnesota to creep up. Houston, can they get? They were second for so long. Can Houston get back into the playoffs and miss the play in zone? I still think Phoenix and Sacramento probably get knocked out in the play-in. Obviously, that's what would benefit me more, but it's hard to see a full-strength Houston, New Orleans, or San Antonio missing out. But the play-in, who knows? Who knows? Memphis, what a sorry season. Yeah, they are technically not out of the play-in spot race, but I think that ship has sailed for Memphis. I don't even have a prediction of who's going to win. I think it's just such a wide open season, which is really exciting. There was a lot of Portland in there. If you found some value or entertainment in it, then I'm very happy for you, and thanks for listening. I hope everyone has a great time to finish off the season and all those playoff hopefuls and confirmations. All the best. I hope you all get to have a swing at it with your best team at least. So good luck. May the best team win. See you.